and you are. We are Citizen Outbreak. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Matthew, welcome back. You've been away. We've been away. What's going on?
Well, good, man. Happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you. We've had a little bit of break, and we are going to have another break soon. So we're kind of trying to get in this podcast before, summers are a little tough for us. Matthew travels, I travel, but in 2 weeks we should be back on our regular schedule of 1 to 2 podcasts a week. I know a lot of people have been asking, where's the pod? Where's the pod? Where's the pod? I'm like, it's coming. It's coming. It's, like we got some, things going on. Personally, you were traveling, I was traveling. Now we're back for a moment. Then I travel. You got a nice tan going on.
Yeah.
Looking nice and healthy. No, it's not a filter. That's a good thing. Cause everybody uses a filter nowadays.
I feel good. Know.
Matthew, let me ask you a question. This has been bothering me. I want to know if you're on the same wavelength. You just flew. I've been flying. You just flew.
Yeah.
Right. When you fly, are you sitting by the window? Or are you on the aisle? Where are you sitting?
I took the aisle.
You took the aisle. Now, if the person is sitting in the window, right?
Yeah.
Does it bother you when the window shade is down on takeoff and landing, or during the flight when there's turbulence? Does it bother you that the window shade is down, or no?
It's there's a few different things about this, right? Because it's all kind of situational. I don't like when you take off at a morning flight, right? And I like to see outside. It's nice. Sometimes it's pretty. You get a sunset, sunrise, good views, all that kind of stuff, and I like it. I also like when we're landing in New York. I love seeing, so I'm always bummed because I always tend to pick the wrong side of the plane, right? But when somebody keeps it open and there's a glare, like a noticeable glare coming through, which, people do, it pisses me off, right? Like they should have enough. They should be thinking a little bit about the collective good in that cabin, where if there's a glare, they think about it, because
if there's no glare, you're taking off, you're landing in the middle of the flight. It's not nighttime, and there's turbulence.
Oh, well, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. I flew up from. I was on a plane coming up from Miami last winter, and they announced, it was crazy because they announced, and I was on an aisle on both sides. So they announced that we had an emergency, right? We have an emergency. They said something's wrong with the whatever and we're going to make an emergency landing in Orlando. Okay. So I'm sitting there, and we didn't hear from. There's a few issues, right? We didn't hear again from the pilot. That was one thing. They said an emergency landing, and we didn't hear from them. Then, to your point, because it was a morning. No, it wasn't a morning flight, but whatever. The windows were down, and we were circling for a long time. Okay, because they were like, we're gonna get there. And I'm looking over there. I'm like, how are these people not curious to what's going on? They said emergency landing, and they just kept the windows down. I had to ask them. I said, "Hey, open the windows so we can see outside." So yeah, it bothers me.
Right. So I hate flying. I fly a lot. I've been in a couple emergency landings. I've been in really bad turbulence. I've been on the news because of a bad plane thing. That's a different story for another time. But when I'm not sitting, I'm usually sitting on the aisle, and like when I'm is there something on my nose?
No, on mine I thought there was. Yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, you got a glare. Anyway, so when I'm sitting there, usually when I'm family members, I tell them to open up the window for something. But lately, I've been flying with me and one other person.
Yeah.
And we're not sitting by the window. Now, I think in the future I'm going to sit by the window because there's turbulence.
You want to control it.
I want to control. I want to see what's going on. It's like more like a mental thing. Like I want to see: is it clouds? Is it a storm? Why is the pilot going this way? Why, what?
No, I like to see. It's like being stuck on a train. It's like in the subway when you get stuck and you have no idea what's going on.
Are we landing soon? Do I see the ground? Like what's going on? It says 30 minutes to landing, but I don't feel that we're going anywhere. Anyway,
that annoys me. People are assholes.
It's annoying. I kind of
the stewardesses usually come through when you're landing and raise all the windows.
They do, but the last couple times where I've been flying, they have not. And additionally, this one guy wouldn't open up his window, and I had to reach over and open it and say, "Go fuck yourself."
What about when the window is shared? You know what I mean?
Window is shared. It's free
Sometimes
it's free game.
Well, no, right? You just go for it.
I don't care. I'll open it. Yeah, I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. I mean, and I've talked about. We've talked
but
about.
I usually
here,
don't.
Flying is just a fucking disaster now.
But I usually don't choose window. I
never do
aisle.
Either. I always choose aisle.
And then you're subject to the person being like, I got to go to the bathroom. It's where I don't go. We've already covered that. I don't look to get in there. There are people that can't wait to get in that bathroom. On the way flying home the other week, this lady came like 4 times. Hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I'd rather.
I don't want to be stuck.
I'd rather have the window up and allow her to go to the bathroom than,
I might start choosing window.
It's the flying thing. I don't know. I the little bit of turbulence. The other thing that really bothers me is when you get on the plane and the pilot gets on the thing and he goes, "Oh, there's going to be a smooth flight," and 30 minutes in, the plane's shaking like a fucking roller coaster. Like, at least tell us. Hey,
I don't like it. I don't like it. They need to be. For some reason, they can't stop talking about how to put a seatbelt on. They all want to be a comedian up there, on the thing. But the second there's anything to actually talk about, they don't share information.
Right? They don't tell you.
I hate it when they talk to me. I don't want to. They interrupt everything.
How much. Yeah, they know how much turbulence is. They know when we're going to hit turbulence. I have a website to go to that tells me where. I have an app. I have a website. I got everything. I'm the worst flyer there is. All right, that's my rant. For today. I like to go in with these rants, but I want to know your opinion on that. All right. I just want to give a shout out to my man Hulk Hogan. He would have been 72 years old. Rest in peace, brother.
Happy birthday, Hulk.
Yeah, he's going to be missed. Yeah, I'm wearing the Hulk Hogan hat that I got down in Clearwater this past week at his celebration of life funerals, touching ceremony.
That's official. That's official issue.
No, I got this at his store. No, I got it at his store. He had a store. He's got his Hogan's Hangout bar and restaurant, and then a couple doors down, he's got a shop where they sell merchandise. And I walked in to see what they had, and I really like this hat.
I like that hat.
Yeah, it's my style hat. It's got him doing the pose. Yeah. So, and flew down there. What you gonna do, brother? All right. Let's get into it.
Big shout out to Hulk.
Big shout out to Hulk. All right. We got a bunch of topics. We've been away. A lot of things have been going on, but we're gonna try to keep it relative instead of going back and reminiscing or reconjuring stuff that we missed in the news. We're just gonna talk about the news that's going on right now. And something that, I don't know. I'm a big NBA fan. I know you are too. We talk about the Knicks constantly. We watch the playoffs. Are you a WNBA fan? Have you watched any WNBA games?
I don't think I've watched a cumulative 20 seconds of WNBA, excluding what I've seen on maybe no, I don't think so. I've never really watched WNBA. I've never had an interest.
You don't know Caitlin Clark games? You know who?
No, although what I've seen, I do know who Caitlin Clark is, and from what the sports, Barstool Sports Portnoy says, what he posts, and he had those funny rants, but he's true. The WNBA is a tougher brand of basketball than the NBA. I think they play very physical hoops, from what I've seen on his, on like highlights. So I guess I've seen highlights. And they were beating the shit out of Caitlin Clark. I mean,
they're pretty tough with her, but I'm thinking about watching it a little bit, maybe watching it or tuning in. I'm not really sure, but there's this phenomenon going on. I don't know if you've heard, but
Oh yes.
spectators are launching adult toys, aka dildos,
Dildos.
onto the court. Yeah, onto the court. Lime green is the choice. The majority of
Are
them
they all,
have
I
lime.
thought I saw one that was red. Really? They're all. Is there
No,
a
one
color
was-
theme?
Well, the majority of them have been lime green. I don't know why
I
that's
didn't
the
know.
choice. But there was one purple one recently thrown. I think there's a total of 4 dildos thrown and in the past couple weeks.
I love this. I think it's great.
I
think you think it's a marketing ploy by the league?
I don't think it's a marketing ploy, but there's a lot more. Caitlin Clark, the interest has died down a little bit, and now, yeah, you're not allowed to throw objects onto the court or
No, but it could
at
be a
the
marketing
players,
ploy,
but they're throwing these objects onto the court, and now people are kind of interested. People are betting on it. Like, what is someone gonna? Which game is it gonna be thrown on? What color is it gonna be?
When was the last
quarters?
dildo thrown?
It was thrown the other day. They're actually looking. One guy they caught, the dildo.
I saw they were
thrower,
looking for some guy like a Beavis and Butthead T-shirt.
that they're looking for a guy in New York. Apparently, he threw one during the New York Liberty game.
So
and they're looking for him.
is he like? Is there one guy that they think is running around the country throwing?
No. There's different guys throwing dildos. They've actually
So
made it.
This is like a craze in the crowd.
This is one guy threw it, and then somebody was watching or heard about it and said, "This is a great idea. I'm a
think it is a great
degenerate.
idea.
I'm gonna go buy a green lime dildo and I'm gonna throw it on the court too." So you have to actually be close enough to the court where you can fling it, or I don't know.
The color theme is cool. I like that. I didn't know about that detail. That so they're all lime green except the one purple.
The one guy went rogue and threw a purple one, but they're lime green. And speaking of green, don't forget to pick up our game, Citizen Outbreak. It's primarily green.
There's no dildos in there.
There are no dildos in there, but maybe it is a marketing ploy. Maybe there's like a adult.
You know those T-shirt guns.
The T-shirt guns. Maybe they should load one up and throw them out there.
Right. So what's the charge? I saw they had it on the front page of the Post, the dildo thrower wearing the Beavis. What's the charge?
What's the charge?
They're looking for this guy?
I guess they're looking for.
Or was that a joke?
No, they're looking for the guy, but the WNBA has also you're not allowed to bring bags in a certain size.
So now they're taking measures against.
Yeah,
because of the toys.
Yeah, because of these toys.
Well, if it continues,
here we go. NYC man wearing NYC man wearing Beavis and Butthead T-shirt wanted for throwing sex toy at Liberty game. NYPD.
The NYPD is on it, huh?
The NYPD, because there's a lot of crime out there in New York right now that they, there's a shooting in Times Square the other day. Another guy ran somebody over in a car. Robberies.
Right. They've got the resources. Go after this guy.
An Asian man got pushed onto the train tracks, subway tracks yesterday, but they're looking for the dildo thrower. And he's got tattoos. He's a white male. And actually, this was actually at the Barclays Center.
So Brooklyn has a team?
Brooklyn has the New York Liberty, I guess. They moved out of Madison Square Garden now.
They don't play at the Garden.
They play in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. So if you've seen this man wearing the Beavis and Butthead shirt, and he's wearing, and on Tuesday, at the Dallas Swing. Oh no, this is the same. He launched a green one. This man.
So he is one guy that's traveling around the country.
No. These are different people throwing different dildos. He launched one at a fan. She was 12 when it landed. The girl started screaming, freaking out.
Wait. That's not cool. He threw it at a 12-year-old girl.
I think he just threw it and it landed by her.
Oh, I like it. I like the idea of it being on the court, and I could see it would be very smart of the WNBA if it was like a marketing ploy.
Caden Lopez, 18, was arrested and booked on disorderly conduct, assault, and public display of explicit sexual material by Phoenix, Arizona Police Department last week for hurling
Phoenix doesn't
a
play.
green sex toy inside Phoenix Arena during a
I'd
Mercury
love to
game.
know why they're all green.
A crypto group that launched a meme coin called Green Dildo, call sign DILDO, is claiming to be responsible for the unwanted, tasteless disruptions.
So it's one group.
So it's a group of meme coins. I guess they are sponsoring this
Wait, what's
dildo tossing
what's the meme coin?
DILDO, dildo.
DILD. It's not.
I mean,
on
what
Moonshot.
has this world come to that we're talking about dildos during a Citizen Outbreak podcast episode? Launching of dildos. Like, what has come
I
to...
think this is a positive trend.
You think it's positive? I think that the world has gone mad. I mean, it's positive for the WNBA if you kind of look at it because they're getting traction. People are actually interested in these fucking WNBA games that I have no interest in watching. I maybe watching a Caitlyn... I was going to say Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn, what's her name? Caitlyn, whatever her fucking name is, Clark game. But, you know, like, really? Like, come on.
I think it's, look, I think it's funny. Doesn't bother. I think it's funny.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. The world's gone mad.
They used to have people that would streak through the if you watch old films of like, when that old footage, Reggie Jackson running across the bases, I mean, he had to run around people. He got in fistfights with his manager in the dugout. You have people that used to streak naked across things.
Actually, there was one guy.
I mean, it's sports. It's a little funny.
But during that time, there was actually one guy that was doing that. There was one guy in particular that did all the
There was
the
a big
sports.
streaker. Yeah, he did the major
big
ones.
streaker.
Yeah.
He's the one who flew in.
The parachute guy.
The parachute guy. It's one guy. It's the same guy.
Look,
that was the same guy. You didn't know that? Did you know that?
I knew that about the parachute guy. He went into, what was it? Which fight was it? The big fight that he flew in.
So
anyway,
the guy's last name.
Yeah. My point is, it used to be funny. Like there was this stuff and it used to be funny. I don't love, the 12-year-old girl seeing that stuff and, but in total, it's funny. It's just like fans doing some stupid shit at a game. I think it's okay. It doesn't bother me. And I like, I hope it, I think it's funny. I don't know. I don't think it's, I don't file it under like some kind of shocking, terrible, I think it's funny. We'll see where it goes from here.
We'll see what happens. All right, let's go into another topic. I know this one's been eating you up. I'm interested to find out why, because to me, it's a couple people just partying. It's summertime. Everyone's traveling. You see the celebrities. You see the celebrities all over Instagram, all over TikTok, partying up in Saint-Tropez, in Ibiza. And now we have this newlywed couple, billionaire Jeff Bezos, formerly or currently, whatever you want to call it, of Amazon, living it up with his new wife, Lauren Sanchez. They were in Ibiza. They were behind a DJ booth. They were dancing. Tell me more. I want to know because I have no idea what's so special about this. But you obviously have something that you're like, I want to talk about it.
I think it's funny. I think it's really like it's kind of like a top tick moment in what's going on in society, right? First of all, the whole DJ thing, and I love music, and I love a lot of the DJs, and I go to a lot of the these parties where they're DJ. I think it's great, right? Aspects of it. It's also gotten really, really overcooked. Okay, you got DJs for every DJ this, DJ that, or you're going and it's dominating everything, and it's gotten to such a like mainstream captive thing on like the social thing that you got Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez at DC-10, which is like, in the world of DJs, all these big DJs, they play at DC-10 on like they each get paid like $200, like whether you're Black Coffee or because it's the ultimate street cred place for them to be playing. So they don't get paid big. There are no like tables or crazy prices. I mean, there's like two, but like it's really like a purist type like mecca for this movement of DJs. So one, it's like funny that like Bezos is, and by the way, it's like heavy. I've got nothing wrong with people partying, having fun, but it's also like heavy drugs. Like DC-10, where he was, is a heavy drug spot, right? So he's there, whatever time he's there, dancing with his chick, where they've also closed it off. So it's kind of like gotten rid of like part of the purest part of it. But he's standing there with his sunglasses. So presumably he's I don't know if he's partaking or not, but that place is tough to be in. So
He's dancing with sunglasses on?
Yeah, he's got sunglasses. I mean, but look, that's fine. I don't, and by the way, he worked for his money. I'm happy for all his person. It's like a funny moment because I can tell you, like, across everywhere in the world now, no matter where you go, the party and the social activity is so heavily dominated by the DJ. So you mentioned, you go to France, Saint-Tropez. You used to go there, and there were and people that went there cared about doing things that were local to the to the local culture, right? They wanted to go to this restaurant, this beach, this thing. Now they could be in Saint-Tropez, they could be in Cleveland, Ohio, because if you meet somebody, you say, "What are you doing tomorrow?" They said, "Well, we're going to go see Black Coffee, and then on Wednesday we're going to go see Kind Music up in Turkey." So they're only following DJs. Like the travel schedule is dominated by the DJ that's playing. They don't care where they are. It's cool to say that you saw a DJ and for Instagram, like, we saw him in Saint-Tropez or we saw him in Bodrum, but the reality is like, it's just the DJ, right? And I, like I said, I love the music and some of these things are really fun and crazy, but like, it's just so heavily, everything is DJ. So when I saw Jeff Bezos and Lawrence Sanchez, who, by the way, Jeff Bezos, like he walks around, he's Michael Jackson, he's waving at crowds. I mean, like that particular spot, DC-10, people that like, him on the sunglasses dancing around with his chick after they've like caved off part of the place for it, which is like really not the vibe that the place is known for. I mean, everybody's got bodyguards. It's stupid, right? But like, I just thought it was really funny. Like, it's a big statement about where we're like, this whole DJ thing is really like, it continues to get nuts. Like that Jeff Bezos was just like sitting there with sunglasses. I guess, he's
Who was the DJ?
Whatever. I think it was, it was I know this. Hold on, let me see if I get this.
Take a look and see who it is. I like that.
Yeah, it was a good DJ. It was, what's his name? Forget his name right now. It wasn't like Black. No, it wasn't Diplo. No, it was man, I forget who it was, but it was like I said, that spot. So first of all, him privatizing, they've never done that. Like, and a lot of celebrities are in there. Like, they don't do that. So it's actually pretty like, and again, that spot, like, Black Coffee gets paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for an individual set to play a party or to go to some venue. Like these DJs are getting, but to play there, they get a few $100. Like, it's like, cause it's like, that's where you earn your stripes. And, but it's also, I've been there. It's the place where it is. It's an old penitentiary that converted, and it's next to an actual penitentiary that's still going on. And there's really like no frills. I guess the sound system is amazing and loved, but it's just a very specific type of place. Like, and when people go there, they're wearing all black. Like, for Marco, like they get into it. It's just funny. Like, Jeff Bezos is it's a funny moment to see. And it's changed, because the whole DJ thing has changed. I could go deeper with this. The whole DJ thing has changed what it is to party. Like when you used to go out, I go out, you used to go out to a certain time and then, whatever happened after. Now it's like with the DJs, there is no end to the party and people are drinking less, they're drugging more. It's changed a lot of the activity.
Yeah, I tried to look up to see who the DJ was, and there's no mention of who the DJ was. But you're right. Like, I mean, I haven't been out in a long time, but I see where people are like, oh, the DJ, it's I mean, I remember
Saint-Tropez, for example, has completely changed.
Like, I remember. When I was going out, there was the DJ thing wasn't like a big thing, but we had DJ AM, Like that was a big thing, and he made the party
Yeah.
go. But now you're right.
Yeah.
There's
No.
like there's a dime a dozen DJs. They're flying around. There's a lot of them. Does a DJ really make the party? Maybe, yeah, but
Oh, no, no, no. Now, I mean, forget it. Like Rufus Del Sol at Shalona, and the table was $200,000, and it got taken. I mean, people, that's not necessarily the amount of spend, but like the DJs are the new entertainment that people are like tracking after, and it's just it's like that's what people that are traveling, like, they look at the schedule of what DJs are playing on what nights, and that's what days, because the DJs in certain places are during the days, and that's where they want to go. And it's not necessarily bad. It's just a change. It's an interesting change. Like, and that's what the girls and the guys are going crazy for. And it was just funny to see Bezos. Like, that's like just a very good statement about where we're at with this thing, because that's as mainstream as it. Like, now that's it. Like
well,
Bezos is up there.
but it's good to see. It's good to see Jeff out there enjoying his life, because he was a little tight for a while,
Absolutely.
and it's good that he's getting out there and enjoying. If I was a billionaire, I'd want to be out there too, partying it up.
Absolutely. No drama with him. He should get out there and enjoy everything. I think it's just more funny about like how far like this whole, because I mean, it's really like every day, every lunch, dinner, it's like you ask people what they're, and it's everywhere. Like out Long Island or everybody's talking about what DJ is playing where, because it's just changed like the social activity so much. And it's just funny. So like seeing him at it's a statement on where the whole DJ thing, music thing, which is great, by the way. I love music, and I'm into it's just a statement on that. It's just
Yeah.
funny.
It's amazing. Well,
That's why I liked it.
but the other thing is, what really is weird is I'm seeing, and this goes back to Jeff and Lauren Sanchez, is they're right next to the DJ booth and dancing, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
what's
that's the thing,
deal?
because you
What's
want to
the
be
deal
there.
Right, but don't you
So
want to be in the crowd, or
yeah,
like, no, you
no,
want to stay in the
so
crowd?
when you look at a crowd, if you go to a party, everybody. So it's all set up where the nucleus, the power source, is in the DJ booth. And so what's crazy is when you're in the DJ booth, you feel the crowd, because everybody's literally trying to attack the DJ booth. Like, you have girls that are up against, like they're so close, because you want to get closer and closer. It's an amazing feeling. And so you go to a party and you can have whatever tables are, or sections that are VIP this, VIP that, the true, like, where everybody wants to be, or at least go to during, for more than just the social status make a statement it makes, is in the DJ booth, because the energy is coming from there. But also, like, you have people, like, it's like, you have people that come up with their phones and they're like this in your face when you're in the booth like this. It's a crazy thing. These are the new, like, major celebrities going on, are the DJs. I
Right,
mean, they're being paid,
they're celebrities, they're DJs. I still don't know what some of them look like, but
but they've been more and more. And the point about what was interesting, particularly about the Bezos thing, is like DC-10 is like I said, it's like when Kobe goes home to play at not home, but when Kobe goes to Rucker Park,
yeah,
and plays it, like, because he's paying respect to, like, the realness, the streets. That's DC-10.
right,
Like, when a DJ is invited to play there, it's a huge deal.
right. Well,
So it's just funny that it to me, and I was over there. So I mean, every day you're here and you meet somebody, like, oh, you go, this DJ's playing there. It's like, it's wow. It's just like so much like into it, which, and there's a lot of great things about it. I'm not saying negative. It's just funny to see. That's where we're at.
all right, speaking of DJs playing, August 15th, President Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin of Russia have agreed to meet in the United States, in Alaska, to try to get this peace deal done with Ukraine. Now, the question is Zelensky going to go to the meeting? Is he not going to go to the meeting? We're not sure if he's going to the meeting. You think he's going to go to the meeting? What do you think about this meeting between Trump and Putin?
I'm a little bit back. I thought it was going to be a 3-way meeting. It's not confirmed
No,
yet?
Zelensky's not confirmed. He hasn't confirmed. Putin's confirmed. Trump is confirmed. Zelensky is not confirmed yet.
So so I missed the steps because I thought I saw that Trump announced it, or it was announced, and then after it was said that it was going to happen, Europe then came out and was like, "Hold on," like, and they've done this a few times, right, in the past year. Hold on, like, we don't want any deal happening here unless we're involved.
So, right. So what? No. So let's take a step back. So Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin agreed to a meeting on August 15th in Alaska. And then Europe is like, well, how are you meeting without Zelensky? And then the White House came out and invited Zelensky.
Got it.
And basically, some of the details were leaked of what Putin is expecting to agree to a peace deal. And Zelensky came out and basically said, I'm not, and those terms were, I want some of the eastern territories of Ukraine.
Right.
And is it eastern or western? Eastern territories, right. And he said, and Zelensky said, well, I'm not giving up any territories. But if you remember back in April of 2022, they had an agreement, a signed agreement, where Zelensky had agreed to give up those regions, and Boris Johnson from the UK came in and basically said, tear it up. You're not doing the deal. And guess what's happening right now? You got Emmanuel Macron coming out saying, I have just spoken again with President Zelensky, as well as Chancellor Merz and Prime Minister Starmer. 3 stooges, I like to call them. We remain determined to support Ukraine, working in the spirit of unity and building on work undertaken with the framework of the coalition of the willing. Ukraine's future cannot be decided without the Ukrainians who have been fighting for their freedom and security for over 3 years now. Europeans will also.
Who's the willing? Who's the what of the what?
The coalition of the willing.
Who are they?
The coalition of the 3 stooges, the minister, chancellor, and president. Those 3 guys. So I guess they're the coalition of the willing.
Is that Trump, Putin, and Zelensky?
No. Coalition of the willing are Prime Minister Starmer, Chancellor Merz, and
the train gang, the midnight train, the Paris gang.
Yeah. I will continue. This is Macron again. I will continue to coordinate closely with President Zelensky and our European partners, because they're partners.
Yeah.
So Europe again is diving in. They're inserting themselves into these peace talks. If you remember back in Europe during the Vatican meeting, Macron tried to sit down on the meeting with President Trump and Zelensky, and Trump said to him, no, it's going to be just us 2, and he shooed him away. Again, he's trying to force himself into this meeting, maybe not even into the meeting. Maybe they want to be part of the meeting. I don't know if they want to be part of the meeting, but they're trying to force themselves into the negotiation of what Ukraine should do, what Ukraine should not do. Zelensky basically is he a puppet? Is he being told what to do? What's going on? Like,
I mean,
yeah, like what? No, what's it's
well,
just
look,
a joke.
I mean, he's a puppet insofar as that if the funds stop flowing, he'll have nobody to support his effort, right? So it's a few things. First of all, Europe cumulatively since 2022, since this thing has started, has put more money into Putin's pocket than it has into Ukraine, right? Because it has no choice but to keep buying Russian gas and oil, and then, all signs point to, nobody really denies it at all at this point. They just avoid the topic. The U.S., along with Ukraine and cooperation from Germany and Sweden, basically blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. So U.S. said, well, now you got to buy, that was gas from us, but it's too expensive to buy U.S. gas, Europe. So they're continuing with Russia. So if you just look at it from that, but I'll get back to that in a second. But Europe has a fear, right? Because if Ukraine cedes territory, right, to Russia, as was stated in the Minsk II agreement, which by all accounts was never really signed in earnest and was laughed at by Europe. If they cede, the fear is that then Putin starts going down that map to all those other places where NATO promised they wouldn't expand to after the fall of after the wall came down, and that's the European fear is how do we stop him from then saying, well, in Latvia they're speaking more Russian than they are else, and that should also be us. So, and we got ourselves into this pickle. I mean, we've been expanding east towards Moscow since since we promised we wouldn't, for better or for worse. But it's gotten us into this point where if you take everybody just in their self-interest, Europe is now concerned that they're going to have to give up a lot more territory or have to deal with more down the road. Now, none of these people, because it's just not realistic. Macron and his buddies from that train cabin, they're not defining what they actually want, right? Like they're just basically saying we don't want to compromise and no land will be ceded. It looks like Putin can afford to keep going, despite what Trump keeps saying about his economy. It looks like he's spending less than Europe, and status quo it can continue, and it looks like also Ukraine can continue. It looks like there's no point. It looks like nobody really wants to stop this.
Nobody wants to stop. But at the bottom line is, those regions that he wants, Donetsk and Donetsk, those people there, they don't want to be part of Ukraine. A lot of people are saying they don't realize, like a lot of people, they don't want to be part of Ukraine.
Well, they had an agreement. They signed an agreement about it that was never honored. I mean, so there is a framework that was agreed to, and then just not, viewed as valid by Zelensky. I mean, you could talk about all these different things. The point is that it's kind of tough when right before a meeting you're basically saying there's going to be no movement. Now, it's part of negotiation. You don't show up saying, "Hey." So he's saying if Zelensky's saying we're not going to give up anything, and then he gives up and that's part of the process. So, it would be great to see this thing come to an end.
It would be.
Europe is doing what they've been doing, and no Europeans are standing up saying, hey, why do we want to keep sending our money? Why do we allow our own pipeline to be blown up so that we have to pay more? Why, those questions aren't asked. I guess people don't, can be swayed, just, this guy's Hitler and stuff.
Right. So but you don't know what they're being fed on their media. They're being told, like you said, oh, if Putin doesn't stop in Ukraine, that he's been there since over 3 years now, that he's going to keep going. He's going to go after Poland. Let me ask you a question, Matthew.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years. If he could go after all these other countries in Europe, he can't even get to the middle of Ukraine.
Yeah, look, I don't think he wants to destroy Ukraine, right? But yeah, to your point,
okay,
if you're believing that narrative, right? That they're telling me he's going to just sweep through Europe and come take over the Eiffel Tower. It would seem logical to be like, well, what's taking him so long in Ukraine? And then to this flip of that, like, then why not just make Ukraine NATO? Right? Isn't that the whole, that was the whole, that's threat at the beginning of this.
Right.
And so they're just, there's a lot of lying. Who knows what's going on there? I think there's a lot of people making money, and
there's a lot of people making money. But here's my thought.
Yeah.
Here's my thought. If I was negotiating, if I'm Trump, I'm Zelensky, and I'm Putin, right? If I'm over there and I'm negotiating, here's what I would say. I would say, okay, let's bring Macron in. Let's bring, Starmer in. Let's bring everybody in. Let's have everybody over here talk. No, because here's what I'm going to say. If I'm Trump, here's what I'm going to say.
I'm just thinking about all the hugs.
No hugs. I don't want to touch anybody. I don't want nothing. If I'm playing fiddle, here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Putin, here's what you got to do. Okay. You can't. You could take these the regions that you want. Zelensky, you got to give them up. Okay, Zelensky, you're gonna give them up. Okay, here's what you're gonna do. In return for giving them up, you're gonna be in Europe, in the EU. You're gonna be in NATO, right? Right. This is what you're gonna do. Do you agree to that? Yes. Yes. Okay.
No.
Europe. Here's what's gonna happen. Okay. But you have to pony up into NATO. You have to pony up into EU. How much can you pony up? You really can't pony up anything. We don't have any money. All right. No problem. EU, France, Germany. You guys are gonna have to pony up the difference for Ukraine. You're gonna have to pony up the money into NATO. Here's what the United States is gonna do, because we're going to sign a new agreement. The U.S. being the major investor into NATO, we're not going to be in NATO anymore.
Well, that I agree with.
Okay, why are we not in NATO anymore? What does NATO have to do with us? What, to protect our friends?
Well, if I'll just say, if they were to make Ukraine NATO, that's a declaration of war against Russia.
Right, but that's the thing is, it's NATO.
Yeah, let them look. I think
what's the purpose of NATO? What's the purpose of NATO?
What you're saying is, and I agree with you. Trump should put on the table, look, you want this so bad, we're going to leave NATO, because NATO was started during a very different, when the pieces on the board were very different than today. Right, the threat was Russia. So how we that they were moving across,
right,
and
completely different.
Cold War times. So. How is that even a believable narrative when, to Trump's point, in 2016, he went to Europe and was like, what are you talking about? You want us to protect you, and you're not you're not diversifying any of your energy needs. You're just, so he's your gas man. He's your gas attendant, and you want us to protect you from your gas attendant? And they laughed at him. Right. So it's kind of ridiculous. Like, there's been a lot of changes to the agreement. And the reality is, Putin's thing is China, right? So if Trump can't get a deal, Trump wants to and should want to enlist Russia to be more of a cooperative ally on all economic interests and everything, because China is if they go all the way over to China, that's more shit we got to deal with. And China's sitting there saying, if you go over there with the U.S., then you lose us. So so Putin can't just, he needs to really believe that Trump can hold something together. So it's looking at the broader picture, bringing in like what China's up to. There's a lot more to gain for the U.S. strategically having Russia on our side as an ally.
Absolutely. So, look, is Vladimir Putin a bad guy? Absolutely. Do I want to see the war stop? Absolutely. Do I think, do I feel bad, and do I feel bad for the Ukrainian people losing lives? 100% I do. But the war's got to stop. There's a lot of people sticking their nose where it doesn't belong, us included. But Trump has been known to negotiate, and he's got to bring peace, because you got a ding dong or a green dildo of an ex-president and Joe Biden who caused all this. He's the one. I think he's the one who said, "Oh, they're gonna a little. What did he call it? A little incursion. They're gonna do a little incursion. What does a little incursion actually mean? It means go in and take something. That's like me saying to you, Matthew. Hey, Matthew, you see that guy over there? I have a jewelry store, and I'm gonna let him come in and just take one gold Rolex, and then he's gonna call in. I think see a Patek over here. I'm going to take that while I'm in there. I'm only in there for 5 minutes. I might as well take everything I could get. Same thing.
We've been in Ukraine for a long time, right?
I've been there too long. Too many people are dying. Enough is enough. Make a deal. Shut the fuck up. Make a deal.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Should he make a deal?
But I'm thinking about. Think about it. Putin and Zelensky at the same. That's a tense thing. Like if you're Putin knows Putin's really he's like a black belt, right? And he's a bad dude, but like if so, it's a little tense. If you're Zelensky, how do you not take a shot?
Depending on how much coke allegedly Zelensky does.
It's kind of a funny scene, right? Let's say the three of them get into a room. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of beef cooking on that table.
Do you think they're going to have cameras on this meeting? Because if you remember when they had when Zelensky came to the White House and they had the cameras there with JD, and they got really intense and they kicked him out of the room.
I mean, they slapped him around the Oval Office, and he was, so I'm just saying, it's a pretty. I don't know, like FDR wasn't in any room with Hitler. And not to call any of these guys aren't nobody involved here is Hitler, but like, I don't know, when you have a live war going on, you get the leaders in a room together on TV.
What do you mean? But it just happened. Trump just the other day had Armenia and
they had made a deal.
They had made a deal. Right, but he put the two leaders in the the and they made a deal. But he's been known to do that.
Right. These guys, I'm saying, I guess, and it's happened like Arafat was around, a bunch of the different Israeli prime ministers or whatever. It's just kind of like these guys go like today, because we see so much of them and there's so many statements, like the way that foreign policy is handled and that everything's handled today on Twitter. It's like three of these guys in a room together. First of all, the handshakes, the type of handshakes that are given, like and then like the hugs. And if you get the starners and it would be like 30 minutes of hugging before it gets down to anything. And how's he?
JD Vance came out and I think it was today. He said, "We're done funding Ukraine's war business."
Right. So it's like Trump's sitting there, and what does he say? Like, "Ooh, let's keep these two guys apart. They don't really like each other. Like make sure that they don't do anything crazy here." Like, it's kind of funny if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, and then you go back to.
I hope they all three get in a room. Would be great.
Yeah, I hope so. But we go back to France and UK, and you had the U.S. Secretary Marco Rubio over the weekend. He comes out and he says, "Yeah, we could have had a deal with Hamas and Israel, but Great Britain and France meddled in it, and they caused the collapse of the ceasefire talks." So like Great Britain and France and Germany are sticking their nose and constantly like messing up these peace talks.
I mean,
everywhere.
They've got those. Europe is gone, right? I mean, so like they've got to think about their constituency, right? I mean, France has.
They don't have what constituency? Nobody likes Macron.
Well, it's all Arab in France,
but nobody likes Macron.
No, but they've got to come out as pro.
You were just in France. Does anybody like Macron in France?
No, people don't like Macron in France. Nobody likes
him. Right. And does anybody like Starmer in the UK? People. Nobody.
Everybody's leaving the UK. UK is on a downward spiral. They got rid of the tax. And everybody's out of there. They chose to torpedo their economy.
It's unbelievable.
So
it's unbelievable.
Europe's in a lot of trouble.
To me, I still don't understand like what is up with these world leaders not wanting peace. Like, what is it? Is it to destroy the world? Is it to destroy people? Is it to depopulize the world? Like, what is it about these world leaders? Like, what is the common sense? Like, you just go down and down and down. Like, you see, even locally, you have these mayors destroying their cities. You have presidents destroying their countries. Governors destroying their states, and just now, let's go into another topic that Trump just called the National Guard into DC to take over for Mayor Muriel Bowser because she's doing shit. And it's not just her. I'm not going to blame her. Look at the history of DC, Washington, DC, and look at the history of the mayors that they've had. Name one Republican that they've had. Name one.
I don't know. I remember Marion Barry.
Marion Barry was the cokehead mayor.
Crackhead.
Crackhead. I mean,
I'm sure he liked coke too. But.
Yeah, of course he did. I mean, it's the precursor. But like, look at it. Like, and I'm not talking about Democrats are bad or anything because there are some good Democrats. But look at DC. DC is a shithole. My daughter was playing in a volleyball tournament there in February, and they were staying in a hotel in DC.
That's right.
And while they were having a team meeting in the lobby, This 13-year-old boy, I think he was 13 or 12 or 14 or something like that, came and shot up because he got into a fight with
Was
somebody
he
at the
13
CVS.
years old?
He was 12 or 13 or 14, around that age. He got into a fight with somebody that was staying at the hotel, non-volleyball related, up at the CVS on the corner of the street. Started a fight with them, followed them to the hotel. Security wouldn't let him in, so he shot it up. Missed my daughter and her friends by inches. Could have been a disaster. And what did the police do? Oh, they asked questions. They couldn't find the kid. Finally, they found the kid, arrested the kid, and guess what? Kid was out.
He's out.
And
Really?
you know, I spoke to somebody in DC, a friend of mine that's in DC, and I was like, "Yo, what the hell's going on over there in DC?" He goes, "What do you mean? This is like a normal thing. Like you have people getting shot up. You have people getting carjacked. Look at Big Balls from Doge. The other day
Big Balls got beat up, right?
He was helping a lady that was in despair. I think she was getting carjacked or something, and he went to go help, and he got the shit kicked out of him. And then that's what, you know, basically said, you know, Trump is like, hey, we got a serious problem here. We got homeless people. This is the capital of the United States. We have dignitaries, we have presidents coming here, and they drive through and they see this shit. If you remember Governor Newsom, what did he do? What did he do when the Chinese delegation was coming?
He cleaned it up pretty fast.
He cleaned it up pretty fast. What did he do with all those homeless people? He got rid of them. And he's saying, I wasn't doing it because of China. I was doing it because there was a lot of people coming in. But here's the thing. You have California is like once in a while they have these people coming in, the presidents and delegation coming in. But in DC, it's like every single day they have people coming in.
Forget about it. You got taxpayers there that aren't getting any return on their taxes. I mean, it's a dangerous place. This is all across. Look, New York is on this has been on the slide for a while. Right now, we're there. You know, I don't think Mandami's going to get in, but you know, the media is really pumping this guy Mandami and his story. You know, Taxi Driver, which is a good, it's a depressing movie with Bobby De Niro. That shows you what New York was like after 35 years of one-party rule, right? I mean, it took another. After Taxi Driver, it took another 12 or another decade before they finally said, we're fed up. We're putting in, we'll give this guy Rudy Giuliani a chance. It's not like rocket science. And, these cities, they keep, there's one trend that's true. Nobody shows up to vote. Nobody in New York can tell you 5 people on the city council. That's not like a natural thing. That's the way that it's designed. It's not like, if the New York Post, if Fox News made all their news, their crazy headlines about local issues that actually affected your family, like, there's trash on the street when I walk. I don't want my daughter walking around. There's somebody, like, people would start paying more attention. Instead, they talk about Ukraine, they talk about abortion, they talk about, climate change, and they get people riled up with the narratives on those things. Whatever. Like that, but the stuff that's outside of your street, they keep you in the dark about when those elections are happening and those issues because they want to be able to control them. And these cities are on the slide. And by the way, the cities are on the slide around the globe, right? Like London, forget it. Like, I know people that have been have machetes taken out on them multiple times. Nobody will wear a wristwatch in the richest parts of London, Mayfair. People will not wear a wristwatch. We send the most unqualified, most easily corruptible, most disgusting, morally positioned people to Washington, like Congress. There's not one person in New York that wants, that like on the Republican side of things, nobody wants to run here. There's all these people that are so rich here and accomplished and competent, and they have zero bid on running for mayor. They just have, no desire to do it. So I don't know. You look at a guy like Starmer. Where did he come from? You look at Macron. He's a joke, this guy Macron. So it's, and it's probably just the way that it's always run. You got a small group of people deciding what they want to pursue. You got lobbyists out the ass spending billions and billions and billions of dollars to force narratives to be pursued. And the rest of us, are audience members. But, it's good. Hopefully it cleans up DC. I'd love to go back there I haven't been to any of the new museums. I want to go, and I want to not worry about getting shot up in my hotel.
Well, did you see that there's actually protests going on right now in DC about President Donald Trump trying to save DC from crime? The people are actually protesting. They want crime. They don't want them to clean up the crime. They're out there protesting. We want crime. We don't want police.
What if
help.
there was
We don't want the national-
simultaneously? What if there was simultaneously a protest on the other side of town that was like anti-Israel? Like, how are they going to? Where is all this crowd going to separate from? So the same people.
Where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? I don't know. But you know, there's a quote here from the mayor Bowser. I mean that name. If people are concerned about the president being able to move National Guard into our city, the time to do that would have been when Congress had a bill that it could have given control of DC National Guard to DC, she said. So there are things that when a city is not a state and not fully autonomous and doesn't have senators that a federal government can do. She's actually right. So like if New York, if the mayor, if Adams goes down, forget about fucking Zohran Mandami if he ever becomes mayor, hope not. But say a mayor, Adams, or a mayor in like Albany or something goes down, then the state, the governor goes in and takes over and helps out. Like that's the rule. But because DC, there is no governor, it's not a state. So who really runs it? It's the federal government that runs DC. So he's absolutely legally allowed to go in and take it over because of the crime. And believe it or not, and I know you're not going to believe this, but the police are actually standing behind the president. The crime is out of control. Our officers are stretched beyond their limits. And besides that, the police over there, they're handcuffed because, like I said before, they arrest somebody and guess what? They're out on the street. They're out. Is there a
WNBA team in DC?
Not, but there's going to be a dildo in their future.
It's probably a good time because there might be these got extra time on their hands. They can go after this guy.
Matthew, I'm going to leave you with this quote before we go on to our next topic. And the quote is, "My father always used to tell me, son, when you walk into a restaurant and you see a dirty front door, don't go in. Because if the front door is dirty, the kitchen is dirty also. If our capital is dirty, our whole country is dirty." And that goes back to when I was telling you about this, the dignitaries and the presidents coming to DC. They see what kind of shithole DC is, and they think the United States is DC. Do you know who said that quote today?
Donald Trump.
President Donald Trump, for fuck's sakes. And he's right.
Quote.
And he's right. It's a good quote because let's be honest. If you go and you're walking around and you're in a new country and you're walking down the city in, say, Barcelona, and you walk by a restaurant with your girlfriend or your wife or your friends, and they say, "Hey, let's go to this place," and you're like, "Holy shit, no! There's a bunch of shit, dirty bags in front of it. There's a homeless guy in front of it, and look, the windows are dirty." Are you gonna go in there?
Let me tell you something. All my friends, and I travel a good amount. So do all my friends from other places, when they come here, when they haven't been here in a while, they're all like, "Wow, this place has gotten so dirty." I'm talking about New York, right? Like you go to Paris, and it's not dirty like this.
No, people are like, people are like, "Oh, you're going to Paris, you got to be careful." I'm walking around Paris and I'm like,
it's bullshit. Paris is thriving right now.
What? It's clean. Paris is clean. Have you been to? I told my parents, I'm like, "Have you been to New York? New York is dirty." Like literally today, I walked out of the office building. There's piss everywhere. I counted at least 6 homeless people in 1 block radius.
You see anybody shooting up?
What's that? No, not today. But there's people selling stuff on the streets, like stuff on the streets. I thought that was illegal. There's at least 3 different hot dog vendors. The hot dogs are water dogs. They're disgusting. Then you got
taxes keep going up.
Taxes are going up, and it's disgusting. You got the garbage everywhere on the street. You got the big garbage pails everywhere. That Adams thought that was a really good idea. But they're lined up all the street. He took that from Paris. The difference between Paris and New York are, what does Paris have that New York doesn't? The buildings. The majority of them have courtyards. So you see a
Oh, right.
door and you go through the door and they have, those big entryways and you
Yeah,
go in
yeah,
the
yeah,
back,
yeah.
they have the garbage there and then they take them out and they put them back. New York
Yeah, a
doesn't
lot of
have
New
that.
York doesn't have those. Well,
What do you mean? New
yeah,
York,
only in certain places.
I
Yeah.
want to say 99% of New York doesn't have it.
Right, right,
So
right,
those
right,
garbage
right.
pails are outside. And then he's like, "Oh, but this is going to be a rat deterrent." No, it's not, because the homeless come around, they open up the garbage pails, they throw the garbage on the street, the whatever. It's a whole fucking disaster.
No, it's a
So
dirty,
so
it's a dirty city.
if Trump wants to,
LA is post-apocalyptic dirty. It's disgusting.
it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So
Yeah.
you gotta think this is a good thing. I don't care what people say. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. Is Donald Trump overstepping his authority to go in and clean up DC? No, he's the president of the United States. He needs to clean up America. Clean it up in more ways than one. And crime is definitely homelessness, the dirtiness. It's got to clean up. We got to stop voting for these morons into power. We got to stop voting for these degenerate mayors who think they know what they're doing, but they don't know what they're doing. And let me tell you something. If Zohran Mandami, and I don't give a shit if I'm mispronouncing his name, becomes mayor, New York is going to be the next DC, the next Seattle, the next San Francisco. Mark my words, Matthew.
He's not getting in.
This is going to be a shithole. All right. We are going to say goodbye. But before we say goodbye,
Yeah,
do you remember AOL Instant Messenger?
of course.
All right,
Loved
do you
it.
know that it's still around?
Yeah, but I saw that it was going away, the dial-up. No?
Well, that's AOL dial-up. So AOL has dial-up service. So AOL is obviously, a service provider. You log
Do
into
you remember
AOL.
that?
Yeah, and then you
loved
dial up. Everybody had it, and
I remember the first time I found porn on AOL. It was amazing.
But I used to use it sometimes at home or something, and my parents would be like, "What are you're on the computer, and I can't make a phone call." Or people are trying to
Right.
call in, they can't call in because you're on the computer. And at least
Right.
back then you weren't really on it, but and then you're trying to
And you went
download
into these
music
chat
from
rooms, right? These
LimeWire.
chat rooms where strangers were in these chat rooms, weren't they? Like
Yeah.
originally, wasn't it?
Yeah,
They
back
had
then
chat
it was
rooms.
it was the Wild West. Like you don't know who you're
Yeah.
talking to, and but
Yeah.
they still have dial-up. It's 34 years. I feel like it's longer than 34 years for dial-up, or maybe it's just AOL dial-up, because I feel like I was using dial-up a lot longer than maybe it is 34
AOL was
I don't know.
amazing.
Maybe it is 34 years. But so AOL is shutting down their dial-up service on September 30th. It's been, I'm surprised that people are using dial-up still, but there are like a couple 100,000 people still using dial-up. It's
Do
incredible.
you know anybody that still has an AOL.com address?
I actually do have an AOL.com address. I don't use it. It's an old account that I have. And the only reason I use it is because for somebody that, I don't know, doesn't know my new one and they're from a long, long time ago, they'll sneak in. Like I have an attorney from Europe that always uses my AOL, and I've told them 100 times, like, don't email me on AOL. Email me at my other account. They start using my AOL. I don't know why. But most of the time it's just spam and garbage that comes through. But that one email that you miss from that old friend. Well, it's been fun. These podcasts are great. Remember, please, and the game, citizenoutbreak.com. We are selling them. It's a card game. It's based
At
on
Citizen
COVID.
Outbreak.
At Citizen Outbreak. YouTube. Watch our videos on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you could find trash. No, I'm just kidding. We're around, and we will be back in 2 weeks, and we will be back on our regular schedule of podcasts. And we definitely enjoy this. We hope you enjoy it. We hope that we bring something to you every single week, and we're going to keep getting better for you. And on that note, we will see you in 2 weeks.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.